Hello everyone and welcome back to my subscribers. If you're not already a subscriber, I'll put a link here for you. Today I'm going to do a maintenance video, if you will. I mean, usually I do the hunting videos and some other outdoor stuff, but I think this is important enough to share with those of you out there that actually hunt on feeders like I do. So if you don't hunt on feeders, this is probably not going to pertain to you, but you can watch it if you want to anyway. Basically, hunting on feeders is, let me recap how it is here in Texas. I hunt predominantly in Texas, and most of the property is privately owned. So if you do hunt on someone's land, you have a specific allocation of land you have to hunt on. So, and usually you're not allowed to walk around much. So you usually hunt from a stand. Well, if you're hunting from a stand, that usually means you're hunting on some kind of bait field or a feeder. And in my case, it's mostly deer feeders. And being a weekend warrior, meaning I don't get out as much as I would love to hunt, you only get a certain amount of a window of opportunity to hunt. And so when you arrive on the weekend to hunt, and if your feeder doesn't work, it's a real buzzkill when your feeder doesn't go off because you've spent all this time to get ready and get out there. So it's very important to maintain those feeders and hopefully keep everything up and running so when you do arrive to hunt, you're ready to go. So this is just a basic Plano box. It's like an ammo can or something like that. And this is what we keep in the Jeep or out there for any of the other hunters to use, and so they can maintain the feeders when no one else is around. On the top here, we got some memory cards for those trail cameras, just a few extra blanks and whatnot. But on the inside is where I think you should have a basic toolkit, if you will. So this is a toolkit for feeders. And inside, I keep some wire cutters for cutting wires because you never know when you're going to repair one of these things. This is another set of cutters as well, but they also strip the wires as well. This is a battery operated soldering iron. Sometimes you do have to solder it. Being battery operated, it doesn't really produce the heat, but it's okay for very, very small stuff like doing a few wires here and there, but it's not really going to be for the really big stuff. I got a few alligator clips and some pieces of wire because sometimes you need to replace a chunk of wire or something, but the alligator clips come in handy as well. A supply of two different types of gauges, wire gauges on these connectors. And I like these connectors best because they're jumpable. They have a little jumper on the end. So this is the type you can connect your battery to and then connect another wire to. So I keep a handy supply of these, or a bunch of these on hand. Two different gauges, just depends on the wire you're using. Little bag of various sheet metal screws and some other little things to hold down wires and such. Now the sheet metal screws, you're screwing into wood most of the time. Sometimes you do metal, but I find the sheet metal screws just screw in so much easier than everything else. And you can use hex heads on them or Phillips, just kind of depends on what you're doing. Tie wraps, they're always helpful. I have a very old battery tester. Now battery testers I've done a video on the solar panels and stuff and checking your batteries. I'll put a link to that here, but the battery testing is basically you're just going to check the voltage. You cannot check the load of the battery. In other words, how well does that battery perform under a load or a motor or whatever you want to call it. You can't really do that without spending a lot of money on a tester, and they usually run a couple $100 for the ones I've been looking at. But this one here will at least give you the voltage, see if your battery's got the correct voltage. Even though it's got the right voltage, it may not last as long as you would think it would run. So, battery tester, a spare computer for your feeders, because you never know when you're going to fry one. Case in point right here. This one I think was a lightning strike, and it fried the wires, fried the back of the case, and fried the battery and the solar panel. Fortunately, I had all these spare parts on hand and was able to get the feeder back up and running. A screwdriver with a few extra tips in there, electrical tape, a multimeter, and the other one is just a battery tester. That's a multimeter. A spare motor for the power that you're running. I'm using mostly 6 volts. I got a Gerber multi-tool. Another pair of crimpers and wire strippers, some fuses, inline fuses, and some connectors, because you never know when you're gonna have to replace it. And I also have a little multi-battery here for checking those batteries on the trail cams, and then some wipes for wiping down your trail cam. Well guys, I told you it's gonna be a real quick video. I'll put links to the other stuff as well, and thanks for watching. You need to have these. You need to have a kit like this or something similar to fit your needs, because if you're like me out in the woods, you're far from a place to buy these supplies. Well, thanks for watching, and please subscribe for more hunting and shooting videos. Thanks.